Something that a lot of Christians really struggle with is the idea that fallen angels are real and they're here. And if you're part of being about your Father's business, then they're definitely on you. So I want to take a moment and just kind of talk to, if they're here, and I'm speaking out loud, plans of deception against them. It's kind of like you're telling the enemy their plans themselves, straight to their face. Now, before we get into this, I do want to take a moment, thank Victory, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram for sponsoring our channel, but also be in the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. They have so many ministries. They feed the hungry. They take care of the orphans. They take care of battered women. And this is something they do because it's part of who they are. And I'm going to put their link below. You can buy a car from them. They'll ship anywhere. I want to say that I discovered they had a food pantry in my hometown of Kansas City. And if I lived somewhere else and I found out they had a ministry in my hometown, and this is why I say check out their ministries, is because I would buy a car from them. I wouldn't buy it from the guy down the road. I just buy it from somebody who's going to spend that money building orphanages. Not somebody that just lines their own pocket. So I'm going to put that link below. So what are we getting at here? I guess what I'm getting at is that oftentimes God plans with us and he shows us discernment of strategies on how to war against the enemy. What reminded me of this was in Joshua, when they're going up against the city of Ai, God tells them to have a lot of their men kind of hiding, and then a few men go up and war against them. When they come out, flee like you're afraid of them, and when they chase you, then the other men then go take the city. And you know, as you listen, this is a pretty significant battle plan that God has come up with. And the thing that it kind of reminded me of a time when I was working at the school, and I was tired of shooting from the hip, so to say. I was tired of responding and putting out fires, that I decided I was going to be on the attack on this, like I was going to be on a spiritual assault, not a spiritual defense. And I had a plan, and I spent 5-6 months playing that plan out. And I worked with a few people on that plan, and much of it had to do with deceiving the enemy and deceiving those who are working with the enemy ultimately. And during that time, I became aware that I can't talk to people out loud. I can't sit there and say, all right, here's the plan. Because just because I can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. Principalities of wickedness are mostly unseen things, but they're still there. And the more you learn about them, they're very human-like. They definitely can hear. And they have emotions like anger and rage and sadness. It's fascinating the more you learn about them. But the reality is they're not going to let you take them down through deception if they know what your plan is. So there was only 2 places I would talk about it. One of those places was inside the building because I knew it was safe. There were people that literally visually saw demons being pushed out of that building. So I knew I was safe in there. I knew that was I could talk about whatever deceptive plans I wanted and the enemy would not hear me. Just like where Joshua was when God's telling him his plan was a holy place because the Lord was there. So it was, of course, the enemy can't hear what God's saying to Joshua. And I think it's important that as you be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ, that you really wake up and open your eyes to this idea that they're there. They're really there. If you're sitting there, you know, planning with people like, all right, here's how we're going to beat the devil in this thing we're dealing with. He's listening to you. He's listening to you. Don't be a fool. Don't, like, You have to treat them as if they're real people. And to many degrees, like I said, they're very human-like. So, you know, you have to treat it as such. So when you're making plans against the enemy, you can't say it out loud. You got to keep that thing silent. You know, or know that where you're at, there's nobody listening. Almost like you're a spy, you know, because it is warfare. It's warfare. It really is warfare. So there you go. I do want to take a moment and say, anybody that has not subscribed to this channel, subscribe. It greatly increases the algorithm. It's free, and it dramatically changes the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. So definitely take a moment. Please hit that subscribe button. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests, and never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. As always, love God, love our family, and love guns.